you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football. If you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. I thank you for being here with me. Apologies for last night, but it's all good, baby. We are here, and the New York Jets are filled with draft riches. We're Jets fans. We don't care about winning games. That's nonsense. We want to talk draft. We want to talk the future possibilities of this team because that's what keeps us coming back. We don't get parades. We get mock drafts. We don't get victories. We get possibilities. I'm trying, folks. It's bad, but the Jets cashed in hope. We're going to get into that. The dust has settled. The excitement's kind of died down. We're going to break it down what the future could look like with this team, what they could do with the funds and with the draft picks that they have coming up, because it's kind of unprecedented. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Nick Shine Show. It's Blitz BK. Turn it up.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in football!
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Yes, fantastic indeed. Shout out to Lou B, Super Jets fan, for a super chat last night before it started. It says, why would Joe B come to the Jets? 1, New York market makes him a true celebrity. 2, O-line, plus G5. 3, New York supermodels. 4, New York endorsement money. 5, stadium would be sold out. Woody is going to try to get him. Sure. And you could say that for Mahomes. And you could say that for Josh Allen. And you could say that for Lamar. You could even probably say that for Justin Herbert. Probably say that for Drake May. Probably say that for a healthy Jaden Daniels. Here's the difference. Good teams don't sell franchise quarterbacks in their prime. Just because we want doesn't mean we will get. We've wanted wins. We've wanted franchise quarterbacks. Stop with Joe Burrow. Stop it. You know what here, let's role play. I know you kinky freaks like that. Hello? Who's this? Oh, the New York Jets. Woody, why are you calling? You're going over your general manager's head again? That's interesting. You want Joe Burrow? What were we talking about, guys? You're not trading Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got Cincinnati to a Super Bowl. He's in his prime. It's not happening. Of course, we want Joe Burrow. Who wouldn't want Joe Burrow? I dream of having a quarterback from the pocket like Joe Burrow. It's not happening. It takes so much to think about the Cincinnati Bengals' luck. They sometimes being bad at the right time is more important than just being bad. You could have had Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson the year after, but you got bad at the right time and got Burrow. You don't give that away and hope you replace that. You do everything you can to build around that. It's stop. Just because we want doesn't mean it should be a story. This to me is the most lunatic, fabricated Jet fan theory out there, and it's caught traction, and it needs to drive off a cliff. Am I maybe saying some of this stuff to use my mojo? Sure. It's not happening. There's no way in hell they're going to trade Joe Burrow. Let's talk about the realistic possibilities with this team now. You have 8 picks in the first 2 rounds in the next 2 seasons. You have ample opportunity to deliver on our own Joe Burrow. And you have the opportunity to build around him so that he can become a Joe Burrow. You already have Garrett Wilson. You have traded away a defensive tackle and a cornerback that you didn't win with. Why? Not to draft another defensive tackle that you hope becomes Quinnen. Not to draft another cornerback that you hope becomes Sauce, because that narrative's been out there too. I've seen those. Oh, we traded away Quinnen and Sauce just to draft guys that to hope they're good as Quinnen and Sauce. No. Come here. Let me tell you why we traded these players away. To do something the New York Jets haven't done in a decade. Last time we had a good offense, we were on the brink of the playoffs. But we didn't have a very good quarterback. And Fitzpatrick gave everything to Buffalo in that final game, and we missed the playoffs. You traded these players for these picks for one reason and one reason only. To build a modern day, explosive, exciting, successful top 10 offense. Because that's the way of the league. Joe Burrow didn't have an offensive line. Went to a Super Bowl. Was a quarter of a second away from being able to hit Chase and possibly win that Super Bowl. You need a quarterback. You need the weapons. And we already have the line. You have to build it, and you have to build it to completion. Want to have a fun exercise? Go look at the 2018 offense for Sam Darnold and wonder why he didn't succeed. Go look at the 2021 offense for Zach Wilson and wonder why he didn't succeed. There was other reasons with Zach, but I've been screaming for years. If you're going to bring in a franchise quarterback, bring him in as the final piece of the puzzle, not the first. You have 2 left tackles or 2 starting tackles. Very good in pass protection, and Membu's elite in run blocking. You got Tittman, who should be your right guard of the future. You have Myers, who's filled in at center. I would extend Myers. I would give him a 2-year, $10 million, 2-year, $12 million deal. Let him go into the next 2 seasons as your 6th man. I would extend Simpson. I would give him a 3-year, $42 to $45 million deal. Anything more than that, I'm probably going to be out. And then I would draft a center early, no later than the Cowboys pick. And I would build an amazing offensive line so that our quarterback doesn't have to deal with what Joe Burrow had to deal with early in his career and still to this day. Also, you have Garrett Wilson, who the Jets got calls for and said, You're going to have a second first round pick. You're going to have the top 5 pick in the second round. You have the Cowboys pick. You have next year's draft capital. Jets fans, I cannot express how much we need the Colts to lose and lose and lose. And when they get to the playoffs, lose wild card weekend. Because now, instead of that pick being late 20s or 30s, if they make it to the Super Bowl, now you're looking at anywhere from 18 to 24 based on their record and the records of the other teams that lose wild card weekend. That's really, really important because now you could take, let's say for argument's sake, blackjack, 21. You could take 21 and, for argument's sake, 42 with the Cowboys because I think they'll be a top 10 draft pick this year. And you can jump up to 12, 13, 14. Maybe you throw in a fifth or something also. And you go get your receiver. You have your, let's say for right now, we're number 3. You take another number 1 and you move up to 2 if you have to. If number 1 is the Saints and they won't trade and number 2 is the Titans, you swap with the Titans, you give them a haul, and you get your quarterback. You don't fuck around. You don't sit back and wait. You have all of these assets, and if you need to be aggressive to go get your guy, you do it. You put all of your chips in, and you go make this offense great. Colts do have a tough remaining schedule, JJ. They do. We went through it the other day. We went through the Cowboys schedule as well. Cowboys have a 5-game stretch of, they play the Raiders next week after their bye. And then it goes Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, Lions, and Chargers. You got to hope they go 0 for 5. They have the Giants, the Commanders, and the Raiders as their other 3 games. So those are yes, I have the Cowboys schedule memorized already. Let's go, America's team. Be awful. And then the really cool part of this is some teams get draft capital. Some teams have open money. Very rare does the perfect storm come together where you have both. Right now, the Jets have $117 million available this offseason. In 2027, they have over $200 million available. What does that mean? It means this is a young team on rookie contracts without a lot of financial commitment down the road. Now, when you add in multiple first-round picks, of course, those numbers are going to go up. If there is a team in Baltimore who decides, Tyler Lindenbaum, we didn't pick up your 5th-year option, so we're not comfortable paying you that money. Just so you guys know, the 5th-year option pays all offensive linemen equally. So centers don't get less than tackles. The offensive line is like across the board, from my understanding. Now, if they fuck around, make them find out. You go and you give Tyler Lindenbaum a contract offer that the Ravens can't match. You upload it. You front load it with big money this year and big money in 2027. If you got to give him $30 million in 2027 as a center, you do it because you have $207 million available. You structure the contract so that nobody can match the ridiculousness of it. And you bring Lindenbaum in. And you build one of the all-time great offensive lines. You have to. Brees, I was okay with moving Brees if we got a 3. I'm glad they didn't. Now I'm okay with extending Brees. Knowing this money that we have open, I would give Brees 3 years, 33. First 2 years, 22 guaranteed. Yeah, Wild Wave, $117 million. Don't forget, you have to spend a certain portion of the cap. They're going to have additions to this team. This is where you go and spend. bringing in what we all think will be a rookie quarterback. You go and do everything you can to make sure this guy succeeds. If Linderbaum hits the open market, you pounce immediately. You don't hesitate. That's your number one target. And you go build the trenches up so that we can dominate the line every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Had a nice surge this week. Even after the show ended the other day, we picked up 5 more. We're at 1837 now, trying to get to 2,000 before the end of the football season. So please become part of the family here. We have a good time. Matthew Smith, member of the channel for 16 months. Thank you, Matt. You're a nice guy. I never use these on real takes, but do 35 and 45 for a 15 and a 3-4 like the Lions did for Jameson Williams. We have too many picks and too much money. But do 35 and 45 for 15 and a 3 or 4. Yeah, if you do whatever you can to jump up. Whatever, it depends on the team and it depends what they want. It depends on how they value the second round. If a team thinks that there's great value with the 2-2s, you might be able to get it. But I get what you're saying, Matthew. I think it's team specific on who you're trading with and draft specific with how that team values the second round. You're not going to trade back into the second round if you don't value the top end of the second round, right? So I think it depends on how that plays out. Somebody might value next year's draft more and say, hey, we'll take a 2 next year, or give us your worst 1 next year, because they might want ammunition to go up next year. So it's specific to each team, but I'm not against it. I mean, if we can keep the 1. Spending big in free agency doesn't work too often, but spending correctly does. If you can go get a young center entering his prime, like we did with Mawai, you absolutely do it. Signing or the free agent offer that we gave for Kevin Mawai changed the direction of the New York Jets for many years to come. And when Mawai was done, we immediately went and drafted Nick Mangold. Now, I'm okay if you go and draft a center. I am. I would if we don't go and get Linderbaum, which is my number one favorite free agent, potential free agent. We know the tags can hit. We know teams can come to agreements like we did with Sherwood before they hit the market. When you look at this class, there's a couple centers early second round, late 1. There's a kid from Auburn. There's a kid from Alabama. That's where I want to get my linemen from. Big Ten or SEC. I'm not taking somebody from Colorado. I'm not taking somebody from a small school. I'm going big when I want on center, because not only are you going against NFL talent week after week in the games, you're usually going against NFL talent every day in practice. So that's how I would view that. I don't want 6, 7 guys with top contracts. I want the right guy. All-pro type of center is the right guy. Now, JJ says, would they really let Linderbaum go? They chose not to pick his 5th-year option up because they didn't want to pay him that. That leaves you open to negotiations now. If Baltimore is dumb enough to fuck around and find out if he gets stolen on the free agent market, the Jets should absolutely put down an offer that Baltimore has no interest in matching. Make it so they can't match it. You resign Simpson, you extend Tittman, and you sign Linderbaum, and now you have Olu and you have Membu all in place. How do you not get excited about that offensive line? I could run for 1,000 yards with that offensive line. Now, I'm not saying live in free agency. Brees Hall, Simpson, Tittman, potentially a Linderbaum, right, for just discussion purposes, you're going to eat up a big chunk of that money. But you're spending it correctly. Build your line and then get your weapons. The way NFL wide receivers enter the league now, these college kids coming in are ready to make an impact immediately. Go trade up and get one of them. If you could get, and I don't think we can, Tate from Ohio State to pair with Garrett, with Mitchell as your 3, with Arian Smith as your 4, with another draft pick or veteran free agent, because Garrett's still young. I'd be okay bringing in a vet for the room to help develop these guys. I'd be okay with that. And let that be your 5. Now, if Josh Reynolds wants to stick around another year and be your 5th wide receiver because he knows the scheme and he's a good locker room guy, all right, we'll give you $3-4 million to stick around for another year. I'm fine with that. You have Irv Charles coming back the following season for special teams and a depth piece. Okay, that's fine for a 6/special teamer. Be much happier with that room. But go give this quarterback every opportunity in the world to succeed. Go give him every opportunity to change this franchise around. Stack the chips so he has no option but to succeed. And here's not the fun part, but the realistic part of this. If you throw him with all these assets and he sinks, you have 3 first-round picks the following year. You don't hesitate. You don't hesitate to go get another player. Is that the plan? Is that the goal? No, absolutely not. But you have a very good fall-safe plan with the New York Jets where now you can go and get the guy if you don't get the guy right the first time. You don't hesitate. You don't fuck around. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you're watching the Nick Shine Show. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, folks, if you haven't already. We do have a raffle going on. I will announce the prize Sunday night. But any super chats, $5 and up, get you in. Gifted memberships get you in. And since I didn't do the show last night and we're doing it today, we're going to double all raffle entries. So Lou B's super chat before for $10 gets him 4 raffle entries. Make sure you get in. It'll be a good prize. I promise you. You're going to want in on this. Ladies and gentlemen, the link's not even there for 10 seconds. I didn't even pin it yet. Everyone gets a guess who's here. I'll give you 10 seconds to guess. Whoever gets it right gets a raffle entry. And go. Also, before I bring this person in, what do you guys think of this? What do you think of that for a new promotion for the show? I edited a picture of me to AI, said, give me an image promoting the Nick Shine Show, Jets podcast, with an excited face. AI put the coffee mug in on its own. And the way the hand was structured, I was like, that looks perfect. So I said, add a cigar. Shout out to Gator for changing the logo on the hat and the shirt because AI keeps bringing up the old Jets image. But then Gator also put the Nick Shine Show logo on the coffee mug. I don't know, Carly. I think it kind of looks like me. It's my face, just AI. Let's check the names here. See if anybody won. We got Beast, Bobby, Beast, Bobby, Charles, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear him?
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, Max.
I have a couple points to talk about. So let's talk about the Jets-Browns prediction. So I think the Jets can beat the Browns. You know, we could beat them. You know, the Browns are horrible. You know, yes, I agree. Their defense is very good, but their offense under Dylan Gabriel is a horror show, And let's talk about, Aaron Glenn a little bit, with the trade deadline. So I hope Aaron Glenn can hit on these 3 first-round picks, but I don't know. Like, the thing about the trades that, it's very 50-50. And, like, do you really trust Aaron Glenn with coaching? Like, not only do you have to hit on the picks, but Aaron Glenn have to coach up these players. Do you really trust Aaron Glenn coaching up these players? I don't, Aaron Glenn so far is very good flip-flopping. He was like in April, he was like, oh my God, we're here to win now. And then in the summer, we'll talk about Will McDonald's bull rush. He was like, oh, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. And then during the season, he's like, oh, sinking ships need time to build. We're not the same old Jets, And then he also said, oh, we're going to be a team that make the fans proud. Like, honestly, we're not proud of this. This is embarrassing. We only have 1 win. Our defense is horrible. We have a lot of penalties, he's not good at accountability. He's horrible at it. Certain players, okay, he'll cut. But then some players like Justin Fields, who's been horrible a couple for weeks, he'll just play him again, And then Aaron Glenn, so what kind of questions that, But like, he's like, oh, we're here to win now. Aaron Glenn, when is the winning going to start? 2027, 2028, when we have 3 first-round picks, I just think Aaron Glenn just did this trade to save his job and to convince Woody to give him 3 years. Because if I was me, I would have fired Glenn after the first year, showing how clueless and incompetent he is.
Max, you asked 3 questions that I thought you were asking me, but you went on to answer your own question. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do here. Now, I have a question for you, and I'm going to allow you to answer this one.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture I sent you last night?
Of course I did. I saw
All
it.
right. So I told you, I know Mike. I was there when Mike was born. And
That's cool.
I'm a custodian in town, and the school that I was at, his sister's a freshman at.
Actually,
His
that's
sister
crazy.
and my daughter were born like a month apart of one another, so I've known her since she was born as well. Now, I'm doing the lockup at the school last night. I'm driving around the outside of school, and this pickup truck rolls up on me, and I see the window come down, and it's Sam. I could see Sammy, his sister, and then I hear him. I'm like, oh, and I go over, and I was like, yo, you saw Max? He's like, yeah, I saw Max in the gym the other day, and he said to me that you said to him that you were in the gym for like 5-6 hours that day. Is that true?
Oh man, I was trying to get on Jake's show. I was working out, doing my back day. I was waiting to be on Jake's show, and then I called it on to Jake Asman's show.
He said that he said that you mentioned Jake, and he said that you brought up my name, and he's like, I love Nick Stein. And Max, you spoke very highly of me.
I just mentioned, of course, I was just mentioning I go on your show all the time. I mentioned I always call on. What did Mike say? What else did he say?
Oh, he said that you're killing it down there, and he's like, you're one of the best people around there, high energy, and he loves it.
Sounds good.
So, Max, thank you for calling. Give us a prediction. Are we beating the Browns, Max? What's up?
I think we'll beat the Browns. I'm also going to be at the game as well. So I think yeah, I am. I'm going to the game. So I think hopefully the Jets are going to win because I'm going to be there. So I think the Jets are going to win 27-10.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Max going big time with the Jets offense. Max, make sure you call in Sunday night. Tell us about your game experience and have a great time. Make sure you bring rain gear. It's supposed to be raining.
Sounds good.
Very important is the footwear that you wear, because if you wear the poncho, all that water will run down onto your feet. Make sure you wear good shoes.
Sounds good.
All right, pal. Enjoy. Have fun. That at the end was great. Quest. Cisco's a free agent. Tony Adams will be a free agent. Quincy will be a free agent. I think Phillips and I know Briggs has extra years because he's on his rookie contract. I think Phillips has 1 more year. Clemens will be a free agent. I think Johnson and Reynolds would be free agents at receiver. Brees could be a free agent. Max Mitchell. Cornerback room is locked in with Thomas, Brownlee, and Stevens. Malachi Moore is locked in. Sherwood's locked in. Maui Noah's locked in, but I expect an upgrade there at linebacker. JJ and Will are locked in. Briggs and Phillips are locked in. Tufele should be locked in. Simpson can be a free agent. Myers, I believe, was a 1-year deal. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I'm not even looking at anything. Taylor, the quarterback, should be a free agent. So we're not, when you look at the offensive line, you look at Garrett Wilson, you look at the depth in the running back room with Allen and Davis both coming back. You look at the cornerback room, that's solidified. You know, your biggest places to upgrade at, for me, wide receiver 2, obviously quarterback, but wide receiver 2, center. If you lose Hall, you need another running back. D tackle, third D end, linebacker, safety. That's 8. How many picks do we have in the first 2 rounds the next 2 years? So we have a real opportunity to solidify this roster. Again, you don't hit on the quarterback, you ain't got shit. It doesn't matter how good your roster is. If you don't have the quarterback, you don't have a chance in this day and era in the NFL. I don't know if Sherwood's going to get kicked to the curb. We already have $52 million in dead money. There's people that want to cut Fields. That will add another $22 million to it. If you get rid of Sherwood, I don't even know what the numbers would be. But you don't want to have $90 million in dead money. You don't need to. I think you can add another linebacker to Sherwood and maybe make Sherwood the off-the-ball linebacker and get a real dominant middle linebacker. I would move Sherwood to the Quincy off-ball role, and I would get a true lifelong Mike linebacker leader. Mays, I thought it was 22 dead from what I was hearing. Or maybe it's 22 guarantee. I'm not sure. For some reason, 22 was popping into my head. But thank you for the correction. Kyle Sherwood just needs to play better. Yeah, and I think if we add assets to this defensive line, and when you saw Aaron Glenn in Detroit, they kept adding to the defensive line. It's going to be a really, really big focal point of the next couple seasons, and it might not end there. I love JJ. I get JJ's a little bit older. He came into the league late. I understand that. But that also means he doesn't have a lot of miles and wear and tear on his body. Well, he's had some injuries, but he's not beaten up and worn down. Modine, who gives a shit about Dan Marino? He never won anything. Ken O'Brien had a winning record head-to-head against Dan Marino. The fuck did we miss out on? Another mediocre guy who couldn't win the big game? You think that our offensive line in the 80s wouldn't have Marino killed like Ken O'Brien got killed? Marino won nothing. Yeah, I know his cap hit is 10, but I think there's a void year that they put in. So if you cut him, that accelerates it. Let me check spell track right now. Let's see. Justin Fields. All right. So for 26, his base salary is $20 million. His signing bonus is $3 million. His cap hit is $23 million. This year, his base salary was $5 million. His signing bonus was $3 million. His cap hit this year was only $8 million. The void money for 2027 is $9 million. The void money for 28 and 29 is $3 million each year. I don't know. Let me check over the cap. I like that better because they can give you what the cap is or what the hit is immediately. Here we go. All right, Justin Fields. So if we cut him pre-June 1st, it's a $22 million dead money hit for next year if we cut him. That's questioning me for. Like, I don't study my shit. Here it is. If we cut him pre-June 1st, it's $22 million. If we cut him post-June 1st, it's $13 million. And then $3 million 3 years after it. So it's $22 million if he's cut. If you trade him pre-June 1st, which nobody will, it's a $12 million dead money hit, $11 million in cap savings. So 22 million. Thou shalt not question me with numbers. Play action with a good question. Lenore Sellers is on pace for 2,500 yards passing. Why is he considered to be a first-round pick? I think people are enamored with the physical talents more than they are the stats. People, when you draft quarterbacks, you're not drafting off of statistics. You're drafting off of traits and do they acclimate to the NFL game? Quick release, speed. You know, everyone wants a running quarterback nowadays. He's an elite athlete. He reminds me too much of Fields, and that's why I'm kind of seeing Fields and I'm falling down. I don't want to draft a quarterback like a Sellers, and we have to cross our fingers and hope he develops from the pocket. I would rather just get the killer from the pocket day one, no questions asked. Give me Mendoza. Get me Moore or Simpson. The more I'm hearing about Moore, the more it sounds like he's going to stay for one more year. Yes, I purposely used the word more than I should have in that entire couple sentences. But it sounds like Moore is going to go back. You can pay him to come back. You don't have to go out if you don't like the teams at the top. If you don't like the Jets, New Orleans, Miami, you can go back and try another year. These guys get paid now to play in college. Sellers is a guy that you draft on potential. He's not an immediate day one impact guy. Can he get there? Sure. But you're drafting the overall talent, not the. I want a pocket killer. That's what I want. I want a Burrow. I want a Stafford, a more athletic Stafford, someone who could just kill you in the pocket time and time again. I'm with you, Jay, because if we don't have the number one pick, we need more quarterbacks at the top end of the draft. We do. We need. Listen, I think there's a very good chance we could beat Cleveland. I think we could beat Miami. I think we could beat New Orleans. That puts us at 4. I don't think Miami gets the 5 wins. I know the Saints aren't getting the 5 wins. I know the Titans aren't getting the 5 wins. I don't know if the Raiders get there. We win 3 more games. You could be looking at drafting. I don't think Cleveland gets there. You could be going to Jets hell, which is 7. Being at 7 is no man's land because there's usually 3 to 5 blue chip players. Now you have to trade up. I get it. You want to win. I want to win. I'm going to root for a victory every Sunday. I'm going to pick the Jets to win every Sunday. But I'm not going to be mad if we lose because the overall picture is to get your quarterback. And you don't want to give up a 1, the late one this year, and a 1 next year to move up. So as much as winning is fun right now, I can't find the positives in it because all it's going to do is cost you more draft capital. And then the same people who are rooting for victories are going to say, "Oh, they fucked up with the picks because now they had to use those picks and move up." Basically, the people who are never happy are going to continue never being happy. Jay says you got to think about I can get 5-6 million in college, or I can get like 50 or 60 guaranteed being a top 5 pick. You don't get 50-60 guaranteed. You don't get that. They have the rookie cat. I think it's 34 million for a rookie. Zach Wilson had a $32 million deal. Now I know it goes up a little bit every year, but Zach Wilson's max was 32 million, from my understanding. That might be up to 36 or 38 now. I mean, still, we're talking monopoly money for us, right? But I get your point, Jay. And if you're playing at Oregon, or if you're playing at Georgia, or you're playing, what's the other one? Alabama, you're making more than that. You're playing at Texas, you're making more than that. Because it's not just the money you get from the schools now. You're doing endorsements. You're getting money there as well. Mo says, take any QB at 7 that you like. You have a chance at landing the best QB in the draft pick, even at 7. Yeah, but I don't think if, let's say, for example, Moore and Simpson return to college, that leaves you just Mendoza. And he's not getting past New Orleans, Miami, maybe even Cleveland. So it's a slippery slope. It's the risk you take by winning games late in the year that many will view as meaningless. I get what you're saying. And if it's one of those drafts, like 3 quarterbacks went before Josh Allen, or 2 quarterbacks went before Josh Allen, all right. Someone's going to take the defensive tackle from Clemson. Someone's going to take the edge rusher from Miami. Someone's going to take the offensive tackle from Utah. Those are players. Someone's going to take Mendoza. Those are 4 players right there that'll go before you if you're picking 7. Kevin says, I think New Orleans will wait till Arch commits. I could see that. I could see them waiting for round 2 and taking Nussmeier's son from LSU. I could see them trading up into late round 1 to get a quarterback like that. I could see them selling the number 1 overall pick because they are not 1 player away. If they don't love a quarterback, load up on picks. There's times where you could see a team just needs a quarterback. They had bad luck. The year Peyton Manning got hurt in Indy, and they ended up with the number 1 pick. Yeah, they needed a quarterback, and they got Andrew Luck, and they went right back to winning. New Orleans isn't that. Miami isn't that. We might be the closest team to that, and we're not that. Yeah, Fred. Also, Ohio State. I don't even look at safeties on the top end of the draft after the Jamal Adams pick. Another great pick at 6. Who have we had at 6 throughout the years? I did this the other day. Vernon Golston was 6. Leonard Williams was 6. Jamal Adams was 6. The Sam Darnold year, we had 6 and traded up to 3. Yeah. 6 has been, besides for Golston, we hit on the players. We just didn't retain them. And that's the problem with changing your coaching staff every couple of years. you're going to change the type of players that you want. You're going to change the players that fit your scheme. So you're going to send off the players that don't. Yeah, we did, Jack. You're right. Is this the same Jack that messaged me on Twitter yesterday? If it is, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's really nice stuff that you said. And if you want, call in now. The link is open if you're available. No, pal? All right. Sorry. Someone named Jack messaged me on Twitter yesterday, wanted to link up. Well, then I take it back. You didn't say anything nice about me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a treat for you today. One of my favorite callers, one of my favorite people. It's the great Kyle Clifton. What's up, sir?
How are you, Nick?
Is that the sweatshirt or the long sleeve T-shirt?
This is the long sleeve tee.
I love that logo. I have that sweatshirt. I got
Yeah,
this with it. I love that logo.
I don't like the dingy color that it comes in a little bit. I have the gray sweatshirt. I love the alternate logo. I think it's the best.
I love it. I have. Does this hat have it? No, this has the NY on it. But I have this. I have the sweatshirt that I was seeing on the Cincinnati game. It has New York in big letters across the back. Does it have it on that as well?
I've got it's got some almost italicized lettering down the sleeves. I don't really love this buy. It's
the sweatshirt has that New York on the back.
Yeah, I have one where it has it on the front. I have the black one, and I have it in a medium gray too.
Nice.
So I wanted to talk about Fields a little bit in the contract because I think I was a little distracted. I think I want to level set. If you cut him post June 1st next year designation, it's $13 million in dead cap. Yeah, that drop down upper right.
Post June 1st is 13, correct.
Okay. That's what we might be looking at if we want to move past him.
The cap savings would be 10 million, and then the dead money would be 13 post June 1st.
Yeah, I don't know why I had it as 10 million. I was probably confusing with the cap savings there, but to me, you just keep him on the team, right? He does have some value as a backup just because of his, he's good. He's a good guy. Guys like him. He does have a skill set that is unique.
Yeah.
And rather than just burning through that money, just keep him because, in an ideal situation, he won't be playing that much.
Yeah. The best case for us is a post June 1st trade. That's only $3 million in dead money and $20 million in savings.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd be open to that. And, obviously we wouldn't be expecting much in return. I would keep him. Keep him. You can, like you said, he's got a skill set. You can bring him in for the quarterback sweeps. You can bring him in for the tush push or the quarterback keeper up the middle. If this kid comes in, I'm gonna keep using Mendoza. If Mendoza comes in and Mendoza's your guy, you don't have to put him in those situations all the time. You can have a package of plays for Fields that you can utilize and throw him in 4 plays a game, and put him in on situations with 3rd and 3 to run an RPO or roll him out. You can do those. And he's a good guy, like you said. He's not an asshole. He's very level-headed. He's very God-based. He's somebody who's not going to cause a problem in the locker room. He's not going to make it me, me, me. It's somebody that I don't mind having there. Now, people are saying, do you want him mentoring him? Do you want him mentoring him? Josh McCown wasn't a great quarterback. But Josh McCown was a great mentor because not only do you teach people the game, you teach them how to be a professional off the field. If Fields survives this year in New York City, he would be a great person to teach a rookie, hey, this is what you got to be in store for. This is how you got to handle this. Don't say this. Don't do that. You know what I mean? There's a lot you can learn from a mentor off the field as well. Right. It's more media training than it is X's and O's. Leave that to Engstrand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of torn because, I think one of the callers on one of the earlier YouTube shows today was saying that a lot of these guys that we're looking at might not be coming out this year. So what do you do in that scenario, right? Like, the last thing I want to do is force it.
Yeah.
But I understand the perspective from Muji and Glenn, where they might not be able to make those picks in 2027 unless they get somebody in here to kind of right the ship. I love trading back. So whether it's, us at the 4th, 5th, 3rd pick overall, and there's one quarterback and it's Mendoza and he's gone, that's something that might come into play. And certainly in the second round, considering that we're going to have 2 second rounders and no 3rd rounder, I think it might make a little bit of sense this coming year. I appreciate your time, Nick.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you calling in, Kyle.
Talk to you soon.
Be good, pal. If let's look at that scenario. This is from NFL Draft Buzz. Oh, let me skip the ad here of construction men in the bottom right. We don't want Tom Ace getting too excited. Yes, we do. Skip ad. The video's playing in picture-in-picture mode. Fuck, I said skip. Screw you. All right. So they have Ty Simpson, Dante Moore, Sellers. They got Mendoza at 4 behind them. And then there's Nussmeier. It's been disappointing. There's John Mateer from Oklahoma, 6'1". I don't know. I can't do that. Not big enough for me. That's what she said. They have Arch on here. I don't think he comes out. He's 6'4". You got Jaden Mayava from USC, 6'4", 230. The comment is the film doesn't lie. Mayava has the arm to make every throw in the route tree. When he sets his feet and rips it, the ball explodes. I mean, are you then are you taking a guy with a later first-round pick? If Mendoza's gone and if Simpson and Moore go back to college, like that's almost like a doomsday scenario. Because now at this point, what did you do? You probably missed out on a free agent quarterback. What's going on here? We're back. All right. Screen went black and swirled for a second. We good? Let me know if we're good here. You guys can see me and hear me okay? Yeah, all right. Let's discuss the doomsday scenario because we are the Jets. Things don't always go our way. What's the doomsday scenario? We win a couple games. We pick in that 5 to 8 range. And the teams at the top don't want to trade. The Saints decide to stick and pick. They take Mendoza. Simpson and Moore go back to school. How do you navigate that? One of the things you can do is you take the best talent possible, which might be a wide receiver. You take the receiver and you roll the dice and you trade up a little bit, or in the back end of round 1, that Colts pick. Do you just take a quarterback like Mayava if he's there? And do you try with him? Then you go get your center. You go get a running back if you lose Brees. And if it doesn't look like this kid can swim, you have all those picks the following year where Simpson, Moore, Manning, and many others are going to be available. I don't want to get into a situation where you draft Drew Aller in 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't even want to think. I don't even want to think of the Allen doomsday scenarios. It hurts my brain. I don't know how somebody can do that day in and day out. Folks, we got over 60 of you watching here right now. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to check now, see if we got any new subscribers during the show. What do we got? We got 3 more. So thank you to you guys. We're at 1840 now, trying to push the 2000 before the end of the season. For any of you watching who haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And let's make sure Stack is a happy man. Hit the like button. If we got 61 of you watching, we should have 61 likes. And we are at 47. So some of you have some work to do. If you're driving, I understand. Please wait until it's safe. Jerome, there's not a show tonight. I got a long day of work tomorrow. I work till 11 o'clock tonight. And then Saturday morning, I work for rec soccer. I work for the rec department in town as well as one of my other jobs. And we have games. I got to be there from 8:30 to 2. Then I'll come home for an hour. And then I got to be at the high school there's a paranormal activity event. And there's like a workshop for like people who bought tables. And then the people from Ghost Hunters are going to be there. That's like the big draw for like the meet and greet. So big paranormal event, and they got a bunch of us working to help with that event. So that's from 4 to 10, and busy weekend. Busy weekend. So I'm all about making money right now in life. So if I can do that on Saturday when I don't have Nick, Mo, I'm not a ref. I do all the sports like baseball, softball, basketball is big in the winter, and soccer now in the fall and in the spring as well. I'm a site manager. So what the town did, there used to be different organizations within the town, and a couple years ago, the town started taking over all of the sports and just merging it into Woodbridge Township Rec. And what they do is they hire guys who've coached in the league for many or in the town for many years, and ladies who go there and make sure refs are there on time, know what they're doing. There's times I have to fill in as ref, but make sure parents aren't being rude, coaches are being fair, players are getting, fair time. But now I get paid to watch youth sports. It's great. And then being a custodian when I go to some of the schools, I'm in the elementary schools, be like, that's the dude from soccer. That's the guy from basketball. Like a little mini celebrity to little kids. So, Mo, you might not understand that because of the court order. You're not allowed to be around little kids, but we understand, Mo. It's Peter Pred!
What's up?
Calling from the darkness and the shadows of Estonia. It's a man outside with his wired headphones.
We talked about the worst case scenario. So how about we talk about the best case scenario?
Do it to me, baby.
We get Mendoza.
Love it.
We have another pick in the first round. We can draft a wide receiver. We can draft, whatever we want to help him. Then we have 2 picks in the second round. We draft interior offensive line and maybe, trade back into the third round with the second round pick we have. And then in 2027, in a loaded draft class, we have 3 first-round picks with which we can fill any holes that appear during the 26 season.
Now, I know Tom Ace is a big fan of filling any holes that appear, but to keep it professional here, like we do during the afternoon shows. But for you, it's a night show, so we can get a little freaky. If I'm looking at Sporting News right now for their mock draft, let's look at some of the guys that they have going in that 20 to 32 range, right? And see if any of them pop out to us. One is Cassius Howell, an edge from A&M, 6'2", 248. You got a cornerback. I don't think we go corner.
Right.
A lot of the mocks have us going corner, but when you got Thomas, which you just used a 3 on, Stevens,
we have so many
just
corners.
gave a 3-year deal, and Brownlee, cornerback and offensive tackle is not going to be used on a premium pick in 2026. There's no way.
We're good there for now. Yeah.
You have Oli Vavega Ione, guard from Penn State, 6'4", 330. There's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mekhi Lemon, a wide receiver from USC. He's 5'11", 195. I would like to go a little bit bigger to
That's what she said.
From Garrett Wilson. Like, I don't want to pick a number 2 wide receiver that's smaller than Garrett. I would like that bigger body to complement him.
That's fair. That's fair. I do see that. But ideally, you'd have Garrett in the slot most of the time.
True, but you still need that big body to play the outside. Now, people say AD Mitchell is a true X. You got to show me a lot if I'm going to have you as my X going into next year.
Let's hope he works out, right? Rest of the season.
Yeah. A couple other players here. Another cornerback, Colton Hood from Tennessee. No, thank you. This is a guy that really interests me. It's Mateo Uiagalelei. It's probably pronounced Smith. He's an edge from Oregon. He's 6'5", 272. Defensive-minded. Coach should be plenty drawn to this massive natural pass rusher who can also use his bulk to turn into a consistent force versus the run. Now, that's a guy that sounds like an Aaron Glenn guy, right? Like if you
100%.
love Jermaine like you do, this is a guy, and now you bring Will in as your third and your pass rush specialist, where you keep Will fresh and Will's not playing rundowns.
Then you have a great rotation at edge. Plus, we have also.
I am, bro. I'm proud of it. When it comes to
also
football players, yes, I don't want Doug Flutie's out there. Wayne Corbett's the only little guy I have ever loved.
But also, we also got to keep in mind we have a whole hell of a load of cap space as well.
True.
So we can fill holes. Yep, we can fill holes in free agency as well, right?
Absolutely.
There are some players that are going to be probably free agents next year that are interesting. Like in theory, if we wanted to get another quarterback on the roster to mentor our guy, then there are some people. Mariota's a free agent next year. Teddy Bridgewater is a free agent next year. There are some guys, and so you keep Fields on the roster. You bring in a third guy who's there, to help with the X's and O's. I mean, there's some real opportunities next year for us if we build right.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. When you have 117 million and you have this draft capital, you have the ability to address every need. There's a couple other guys I want to get through here. This is an interesting one. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end at Oregon, 6'3", 245. If you move on from Rutgers, and now you bring another weapon in, would I like that for a wide receiver? No, but if Mitchell hits and fits in as an X, and you have 2 second-round picks, maybe he's another guy that you like, I have no problem going quarterback, tight end, wide receiver. If we go get a center in free agency, I have no problem adding more weapons. Just get as many weapons as possible.
Think about this, though. If Mason Taylor hits, do you want to be picking a tight end in the first round?
I want as many weapons as possible. If guys complement one another, that's great. You know what I mean? Like if there's somebody who does some things a little differently than Mason does, I'm fine adding to the room. Like I don't think it's an insult to have a good backup tight end.
But do you want to draft a backup in the first round?
It's not like we have 1 first-round pick and we're taking a tight end. And it's not saying Mason's a failure. It's let's build the depth for all of these guys and all of these positions at the wide receiver room, the running back room. You saw this year, how valuable is it having depth in the running back room? Having your third running back being able to be a major contributor in your victory.
Definitely, but my big thing with it is, do you really want to draft a backup in the first round? That's where I'm at, right? But no, I get the idea.
I think this day and era, though, I wouldn't view. Again, though, hear like the whole thing. It's not just a backup. You're drafting another weapon. There's a lot of 2 tight end sets in this. If you lose Rutgers, you're going to need a guy who's out there playing the percentage of plays that Rutgers play. I don't want a 5th-round guy who maybe not be able to do it. Listen, I'm not pleading or begging for a tight end right now, but if things work out with Mitchell, where it looks like he's a very good scheme fit, and you get your quarterback, I have no problem adding another weapon. I'm not going to throw my arms up in the air if you lose Rutgers and now you go with another tight end. This guy is very intriguing to me. Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. If he's there at the end of 1, I could be very intrigued.
We want a dog there, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I love who they give us, but these two guys are my guys. ISU, you know exactly where we're going right here.
Size queen.
Chris Brazzell, Tennessee. Shout out to the big fella and the big fella's little fella, who's a big fella also. He's 6'5", 200. And then you got Denzel Boston from Washington, who's 6'4", 209. That says the Jets need a big play threat to help Garrett Wilson, and Boston has the ideal size and speed to be their version of Mike Evans on the outside for the new quarterback, in this case, Moore. So they had us getting Moore at 3 and Boston at 31. So, and then at the end of round 1, which I would have no issue trading back up into, is Connor Lew, a guard center from Auburn. So
yeah, no, he's cut short by knee injury. Okay, so he's dropped a bit because of a knee injury.
Yeah.
So really, like, you know, he could be the Simmons type of guy in this draft who dropped because of an injury.
Yeah.
And then comes back up, plays really well. I have no issue with drafting offensive line in late first round either.
No, and I have no issue if you get a center going. I mean, Baltimore's kind of proving right now. Maybe you don't have to trade up for him because there's another one from Alabama as well. But the fifth-year option for a center isn't a necessity because the fifth-year option, you're paying like a tackle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's so many possibilities. And with having the finances to spend and get your types of guys and with the possibilities with the draft.
Yep.
I mean, a rookie quarterback.
This is the best situation a rookie quarterback
really
is going to come into.
Yeah.
Like,
words out of my mouth, man. I didn't want to say it, but I'm trying to think. Sanchez came into a great situation too, right?
Yeah.
We were off of a playoff or potential playoff run before dumb fuck didn't reveal that he tore a bicep. He reveals his dick in a pic to Jen Sturger, but he doesn't reveal that he tore his bicep. Oh, is that Johnny Boy?
But yeah, like when you think about it though, we have a great offensive line now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of teams would love to get this offensive line that we have. We have weapons already, and we're gonna get more weapons as well. And this is a dream situation for a rookie quarterback. And yes, there are a lot of ways the Jets could fuck this up, but I don't think so. I hope they don't, because this is a real opportunity here. You have 5 first-round picks in 2 drafts, right? 2 next year, and then 3 the year after. And the 27 draft class is looking loaded.
Yeah, I'm pulling up now.
And there's also a world actually where Jeremiah Love falls in the draft, and if we don't, if we move on from Brees, it's very possible that we may even draft Jeremiah Love end of first round.
Yeah,
the running back out of Notre Dame.
So Kyle Clifton asked for this, so Kyle Clifton gets what Kyle Clifton asked for. This is Dane Brugler from The Athletic, his top 50. You're looking at Peter Woods from Clemson. He took Manning off, says ineligible. Caden Proctor from out, and when was this dated? This is 8/21, so this is before the college season, so nothing up to date yet. So there's some guys here. I'd rather wait for an updated one. He has Lenore Sellers at 7. Yeah, I'll wait for an updated one based off of this season.
But there is a
preseason list. I'm sure we'll get another one. Obviously, we'll have many more.
But there's a reality, right?
What's
where
that?
Jeremiah Love drops in the draft because, teams don't want to take a running back that high in the first round. If he drops to us end of round 1, I would be okay with taking Jeremiah Love because he's a beast at Notre Dame.
If you lose Hall, sure.
Exactly.
I would do this. I would replace Hall the same way we got Hall for the top 40 picks. I'm projecting Cowboys go on a 5-game losing streak. and when they play the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Chargers. I think that's a 5-game losing streak. I think at best that they have the Raiders, the Commanders, and the Giants. Outside of that, you're looking at a 6-10-1 team, which should be a top 10 pick.
Yep.
Say they win one and go 7-9-1, and now it's a top 12, the top 14. All right, now you're looking at top 4, the top 45 picks coming in. So I'm all right with it. I think that the opportunities that we have on top of the finances that we have put the New York Jets in the best situation they've ever been in to make this a long-term, successful, sustainable team. And it's not just money where we're buying guys late in their careers. You saw this year, short deals. Everything that they did has been what I said they would do. I said they would get rid of Rodgers. I said they would go after Fields. I said that they're going to spend on the bargain bin in free agency with short contracts because they're going to want to draft. They traded away some guys, got a massive haul. They got a 1, and a 2 for moving 2 players. Granted, they moved 2 very good players, but again, we didn't win a damn thing with these players here. So how do you win in the NFL? You score nowadays, right? Use those assets. You take from a strength, D tackle and corner. Put that into your offense. Build a modern-day NFL offense. Build an elite offense where if a guy goes down, you don't even miss a fucking beat because you're stacked everywhere.
And look at Quinnen. Quinnen is not young anymore, right? And, best case scenario, he was going to be in his 30s and probably overpaid by the time we were good enough to win. It's a great trade.
Gave up a 1 and a 2. I don't like the guy. He's the fuck is his name? He's on ESPN. He's got the mustache. He's got a big nose. He's got his long hair. Nick is his name Nick? Nick something?
I'm unsure.
He had a take, and he's like, "Let me break this down for you. The Jets absolutely robbed the Cowboys because the Cowboys got 2 1s from Micah Parsons, an elite premium talent, and they gave up 90% of that with a 1 and a 2 for Quinnen Williams, who is nowhere near being in the same stratosphere. Nick Wright. Thank you, Georgie. It was Nick Wright.
Yep.
He's nowhere near being in the same stratosphere as Parsons. Now, granted, you're not going to pay him $190 million. That's a big part of it. But you got 2 1s for Parsons. And now you give up a 1 and a 2. And the one that you're going to give us is going to be the better one in terms of for us. Jerry Jones is a fucking moron, and I love it because it finally benefited the Jets.
Yep. We fleeced him, and to be honest with you, with Sauce too.
But you know what, Black Gypsy? If this season is the bridge to greatness, I will be whistling Dixie going across this bridge, just like I was leaving Cincinnati, walking back to the hotel in Kentucky across that bridge. Beautiful scenery, by the way.
It looked beautiful. But yeah, like my big thing is these trades on which we got incredible returns have set us up big time, right? The draft capital we have enough draft capital if necessary. 27, we have 3 first-round picks. We can trade up in 27.
You could trade
if necessary.
You can trade for someone who's disgruntled. There's always wide receivers that want to shake free. You can add a talent. You can add whatever you want. You have the capital to not take the word no for an answer.
Yep. And that's big.
He is. So far, David, he is. He's been very stingy with how he spends the money. And now he's gotten us $117 million this year. With $52 million dead. I mean, we could have $169 million if it wasn't for $52 million dead this year. And we have $207 million available in 27 as of today. So, and there's going to be guys that shake free. Yes, there's going to be some dead money that accumulates. But the Jets are in a position to add the right free agents and build it through the draft. Because, yes, we have 8 picks in the first 2 rounds, but we also have other picks. And now you're looking at guys like Malachi Moore, Maui Noah, Arian Smith. If you can hit on some of those mid-rounders with all these premium picks, how about that scenario? What if some guys that we pick in 4 or 5 ends up being like the steal of the draft on top of all this top end talent.
It's incredible. The opportunities here are massive.
They are. All right, Brett, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in.
Absolutely.
You're gonna love this segue in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of massive, is that Johnny Boy?
Yo, what up, bro?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, chilling, just working. Dude, it's crazy with the draft conversations because we just have so many options right now that we really don't know where they could go, and whichever way they could go, it would benefit the team off rip. And the cap savings that they've had right now, you're right, with the free agency coming out, does he bring in a couple of his guys? Does he bring in, Alex Alizoni, whatever the hell his name is, the linebacker from Detroit, right? Does he bring a vet like that into his locker room and to show him how? Because the linebacking room, man, has been a little bit suspect, and we've been saying it for a while now. But so I'm intrigued, man. But dude, I love, and I do not like Ohio whatsoever, but that linebacker from Ohio, bro, and Buckeyes and whatnot, he's in. But Nick, I came on here because you were talking about Hall, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. I don't know if Breece Hall.
Oh, I thought you said Hawk.
Hall.
Give me 1 second. Hold that thought for 1 second. I do want to give a shout out to Darren Muji. This story came out today that they agreed to the trade with the Colts on his way to the Mangold service. And he said to him, I don't want to announce this. I don't want people's phones going off during the service. Can we keep this under wraps until afterwards? And they absolutely, the Colts agreed. So, Muji, in the midst of making the biggest move he's made as a general manager, had the heart as a human to say, hey, you know what? There's some bigger shit going on here today. Let's wait this out. So shout out to Muji, who shown so far, I think he's a very good general manager. I think he's done a nice job setting this team up to succeed. Now he's got to make the right picks to do it, but also showing that he's a really good person too. So we need more of those in the world. So shout out to Muji for doing that. And for Chris Ballard, I think, is the Colts GM. He agreed to it too. So shout out to him for doing that as well.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. And the funeral, like the reading that Alan Faneca had out there, it was awesome, man. It was a good I think he would be the individual that if and when Nick Mangold's name gets called to be in the Hall of Fame, that he would be the person to essentially, say Nick Mangold.
Jake said that too. I had mentioned, I forget who I said. We're not the speech, but who would go to the door, because they always have a current member of the Hall of Fame, like Namath came and welcomed Klecko, right? I forget who went for Revis, but they always say welcome to the Hall. One guy with the jacket.
Who did it? Ty Law, I think it was, for Revis.
You're right. His uncle, I believe, right?
Yep.
So with Mangold, I was saying, is it Revis, a teammate? And Jake's like, I know this answer. It would be Alan Faneca. It was how highly regarded and how tight they were. So
yeah, good dude, bro. He's a high school coach over here in Virginia Beach for Cox High School, and he's having those boys play really, really good out here. So, but going back to what I was talking about with Hall, I don't know if you saw Bilal Powell, but Bilal Powell ripped into Breece Hall, and Powell was talking about, bro, I've had 4 managers, 3 head coaches. It's a lame excuse for you to say what you've been saying in regards to everything. They're going to keep you here now because you're saying all of this to just continue to keep proving that you're not bigger than the Jets organization itself. Do you think that happens with Hall, and Hall is truly unhappy? Because I say all of this, how they had that little they had that crew, right? Which Quinnen and Sauce were all in it together and whatnot. And yesterday, seeing Sauce talk on his presser with the Colts, talking about he was just tired of losing so much, which I can't fault him for that and everything. But it's just telling to me, like dang, were these guys really just they were just out, like that mental space that they were in, that they've been beaten so down within this organization, is hitting all of these guys, and that's why you see them not excelling. I mean, even though I still think Sauce was doing really well, do you think that comes into play at all with what's going on with in the locker room itself?
I think human nature is to get disgruntled when change happens and you're not okay with it. So I think Hall is frustrated. Quinnen said it. He's frustrated. They're all frustrated, right? You're not winning, but money cures all.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tag Brees, and you can go the route of tagging him. You can go the route of giving him a full contract extension. I think he's going to want to test the market, but you protect yourself and you protect your asset. And I've said this for a long time. Run him until the wheels fall off. If the wheels don't fall off, tag him, retain him.
Yeah.
Protect yourself. Now, if somebody wants him, you get what you want for him. So, I like Brees. I don't think Brees is irreplaceable, but I think Brees is a piece that I would like to retain for the upswing. I think Brees could be a guy on a winning team that really takes him to even another level.
So, Nick, let me ask you this, because I know you were at the game, and one of the things that Bilal stated on the and make sure I give them credit on Jet Nation that he was on.
Did he brag about meeting me?
Of course. He said, man, it was this guy that was shining really bright when he was there. Nick, that's what I heard.
I met Bilal at the tailgate.
I remember.
He merged with Tailgate Jim out there, who does a really cool thing. It's a free tailgate. They have vendors that come. They have a lot of charity. They have cigars for sale. You just make a donation to the charity. Someone hand rolls all the cigars, and they have Bengals wrappers on them, or else I would have gotten one. But of course, I had my own for the tailgate ready to go. And Bilal Powell was there. They always have a player from a visiting team, and they had Ickey Woods there. And shout out to Claudio with Gotham City Crew. He's like, "Oh, it's Bilal Powell over there." And I went over and we talked to him. And then after I posted it and shared it, Gotham City shared it, tagged Bilal Powell, who they've done a lot with, and then Bilal shared it on his page. Nice. A picture of me and Nikki, which was pretty cool. So I'm trying to get in touch with them, but you know how DMs are with people. Sometimes they'll check them, sometimes they don't. It's hit or miss. But I am trying to reach out to Bilal to see if we could do something.
Well, he said something that he saw Brees isolated by himself. And I know you were at that game. Did you see that as well?
I didn't have a good angle. So where we were in the end zone on the Jets sideline. Where Johnson caught that first touchdown was literally right in front of me.
Yeah.
So it was, we were 4 rows up right there in the middle of the end zone. So I didn't have a good look. And the way the stadium bends, I didn't have a good clear view of the Jets bench area at all. And so no, I didn't catch any of that. And a lot of times when the ball was down the other end of the field, I'm watching the video board.
Of course.
Because you can't pick up on the depth perception if it's a 3-yard route or a 13-yard route when it's down the other end of the field.
And I say all of this, what I'm saying right now, it's for this reasoning, right? First and foremost, I love what Mushi's doing. Yeah, I don't think we've had a GM like that in a very, very long time, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But there's been the narrative out there now that if we end up losing Brees Hall for nothing, it's going to be a dumb-headed move, blah, 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 which in my eyes, if we end up losing Brees, it is what it is. Like, I don't, whatever, right? Which I don't think.
You'd get a comp pick in 2027 because as long as you don't go and spend that money at that position, I believe you get a comp pick. So if we just draft someone and we don't go, depending on what the contract is given to him, it would be a comp pick, which probably for a running back would be a 4, maybe a 5. So but I think they're gonna retain him one way or the other. You're either gonna tag him to control him and move him where you see fit, or you tag them and you extend them because money talks. Money solves all.
100%. So that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think that narrative that's being pushed out there that if we don't get him for anything, that is a completely bad move on the GM itself, even after everything that he's done as of right now, which I don't agree. Nick, I got to get onto another call in a moment. But bro, everybody smash the like, hit the sub. What are you guys doing? My man is trying to get up there. So Nick, appreciate you, man. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in regards to that. Is he dumb if he doesn't get anything for Breece Hall? Peace, bro.
I think he protects himself. I'll answer as you leave. And who you guys got on tonight? Promote the show. Gone. See ya. Adios. I'm looking for their link right now. I'll share that. Thank you, Johnny, for the call. I think he keeps Hall one way or the other. I really do. So for those of you, go show Johnny and Snowball some support. I just dropped their link for Jets Worldwide. They do shows Friday night. Let's see if they have their show pinned for tonight yet. They don't have it created yet. So we'll see. But keep an eye out on them. Go show them some love. Yeah, I really believe that they retain Hall. Whether listen, money talks, man. You go give a running back $13 million a year. We saw Cook hold out in Baltimore or in Buffalo. Forgive me. Money talks, man. These guys get paid. They'll do their unfollow you on social media. That's the negotiating thing now, right? Oh, I'm gonna unfollow you. I'm upset with you. It's basically just saying "fuck you, pay me." That's what negotiating tactic is. Oh, I'm gonna follow you on social media. You want me to like you again? Fuck you, pay me. Gangster. That's their attempt at being gangster. But I think we should retain Breece. Like I said, he stays healthy. This is all based on if he stays healthy for the remainder of the season. Tag him. Try to extend them. I'm all right with it. You know, I think the trio of Breece, Braylon, and Davis for the next couple of years would be really good, especially with that offensive line and maybe only getting better at the line. And even right now, do we have to upgrade Myers? No, we're number 2 in the league in rushing before the bye week. We should be, if not the number 1, top 2 or 3 by the end of the year. I think the rushing attack's only going to get better as the year goes on. And here's something that we really don't talk about amidst of all the losses and amidst the Aaron Glenn press conference drama. When was the last time the New York Jets had 8 games in a row with the same exact offensive line? I don't recall. I mean, it's probably going back to when we were winning. You know, there was in 22 and 23, we were 12, 13, 14 deep. We were having guys like Chris Glazer and Xavier Newman were starting and playing multiple positions. We were picking guys up on Tuesday, and they had a start on Sunday. You know, when you get that continuity, as a couple of you guys said in the chat, that cohesion, that chemistry, it only gets better. And I think that Angstrom and Turner are getting better at designing the run and being creative with it. And now using Fields in the sprint outs and to try to get to the perimeter, which then opens up runs up the middle. And Davis is doing a real nice job going up the middle. Do we have to upgrade? Do we have to go pay a big-time center? No. I mean, Myers has been better than expected. He was supposed to be your 6th man. It was supposed to be Tippmann at center, AVT at right guard. And Myers was going to be your 6th man. But kudos to Muji again. Brought in a guy that has paid great dividend on this offensive line. So, a couple of his snaps were a little low at times in the shotgun, but you know, Fields athletic enough to get down there to knee, shin level, and get it. But nothing egregious. He's not committing penalties. He's not getting, you know, ragdolled out there and thrown out of the way. Would I like an upgrade? Yeah, I really would. I would like to get an elite center. Is there any time in my life the Jets have been good has been with a top center with Mawai and Mangold. So yeah, David, very good point. And he was a tight end coach, I believe, right? With you guys? Steve Hayden came in. You know, the line is not an issue. There's been some moments where, but a lot of the moments we've had, you can attribute to the quarterbacks holding the ball too long. Yeah, Johnny, that's it. I'm not going and find a mid upgrade. If I'm going to go get somebody, it's going to be that. It's Linderbaum. I'm going big game hunting, or I'm sitting home. Tweets coming in right now. With Veterans Day coming up on Tuesday, the Commanders are going to have the president at the game to honor them with a little on-field active duty service members. God bless our vets, man. I've always said this for many years. God bless those who are much braver than I to do what they do for our country. So leave the politics out of it and just respect the veterans. God bless you guys, all of you. I know we have some in the chat. You guys are real heroes and deserve all the love, all the accolades, and all the praise. But ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I do have to leave to go to my other job. I'm like Clark Kent, change. Actually, this is me as Superman. Now I have to change back into Clark Kent and go back to the day job. Yeah, Stack, you know how much I love and appreciate you, buddy. Excuse me. But we have no other callers. I got a couple minutes if someone else calls in. But until then, for those of you that may have missed it earlier, this may be the new YouTube logo. I don't know how Carly said earlier that doesn't look like me. It did have a wedding ring on. It had a wedding ring on the hand with the coffee mug. That's twice that AI has generated an image of me and added a wedding ring. I guess AI thinks that an old guy with a grayish beard should be married. And I'm like, bro, I'm smiling all the time. Look how happy I am. You don't smile like this when you're married. Ladies and gentlemen, David D. gifting 5. Thank you, David. They went to Charles B., Carl Acamando, Swamp Ranger, the big fella, and FR Cows. Cause? FR. So thank you, David. You're awesome, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Today is Friday. So the next time you'll see me is Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Jets postgame. Sunday night, Shine Time in prime time. Working on a guest, waiting to hear back if he's able to make it. But if he doesn't get back to me, actually, I already have a guest. Look at my brain clicking in. I will be joined by Gunny for a bit Sunday night. I got to confirm. We spoke like 2 weeks ago, and then I said we have a bye week, and I had Dylan already locked in for bye week. And then I said, how about after the Cleveland game? So I'll have Gunny with me for a little bit Sunday night, and then we'll do a little game review, and then we'll take your calls and see where you guys think where we're at. Hopefully, we're talking about a victory. If not, we'll be reviewing Tankathon and where we're at. But let's see what Beast has to say, folks.
Now let's go to What Did We Learn Today, courtesy of Nick Shine.
Show me your butthole.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Shout out to Bobby. Bobby called me this morning. I haven't been able to call him back yet. I've been dealing with I'll tell you what I did. I actually got to look it up on YouTube because I have a pain in my leg. I stepped off. I thought it was with the Achilles. It's not with the Achilles. I will tell you right now what I did. It is tibialis posterior tendonitis. It's a tendon that comes down. If this is your, can I do this here? If this is your foot and this is your leg coming up, it's on the inside of the leg, and the tendon comes down and wraps around your ankle bone. And I woke up in the middle. I did it 2 days ago at work, Wednesday. Yesterday was okay. I moved around okay. I woke up in the middle of the night anytime I was moving my foot, and I didn't realize how much I move in my sleep until I woke up 70 times throughout the night. That it's serious pain. So I stretched it out real good in the morning. I massaged it, and then I was able to walk. I ordered a brace that got DoorDashed and delivered, so it's much better. I feel good, but yeah, been dealing with that crap. But ladies and gentlemen, what did we learn today? Oh, correct, Bobby. I think he's going to be home in maybe a week. That's what he said in the voicemail. He said, I might be home soon or in a week, but good news. Give me a call. I'll call him back on my way to work. Play action says, Laululu from Oregon is projected to be the best center in the draft. He can also play guard. I'd rather draft him in the second round than get a veteran. That's fair. That's fair. I've liked the kids from Auburn, Alabama, and now Oregon are the top three guys. David D. I learned in Johnny Boy's call that former Jets running back Bilal Powell has strong leadership skills. Definitely does. Absolutely. Stack says Bobby told Jake he's going home this afternoon. No nursing home needed. Okay. Good for him. Yeah, Dixon, the story changes. It's ever evolving with Mr. Midnight. ISU learned no, but was reminded on multiple occasions that Nick is indeed a size queen. Hell yeah. When it comes to football players, I like them big, nasty. I want a tall quarterback from the pocket. I want big, tall, strong defensive ends with long arms. We got Garrett Wilson, a receiver. I want a tall receiver to complement them. Even safety. Like for me, I want a safety who's at least 6 foot. I don't want a 5'10" guy guarding a 6'5" tight end. It just seems like it's a mismatch. The arm length isn't going to be good enough to break up passes. Like I want bigger guys. Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed today with the presence of a legend in the chat. The great Boomtown is here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. You've done a great job. I thank you all for being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And shout out to the, where are we at? 4 of you that have subscribed to this channel during the show. Appreciate you guys. But now it's time for Mr. Fancy Pants to show us what did he learn. Boomtown, if you would please, sir, drop it like it's hot. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to gift the membership as well because David gifted 5. So thank you, David, for that. And mine went sneakers to boots. And we got to get Chris B a membership. Don't forget, folks, if you gift a membership and it goes to Chris B, you immediately win a Jets jersey of your choice. We got to get Chris using emojis again. He loves them. Boomtown learned Nick has America's team schedule on his mind already. AI can generate a striking resemblance to the real Nick Shine. Max, don't listen to no timeouts. Max answers his own questions. Max, he's one of one, man. Bonus, Alan's doomsday scenarios should come with a mental health warning. Fred is stingy when it comes to turning lights on in his place. Nick Superman Shine has a great ring to it. Well, I got the Superman tat on the arm. Got that when I was 18. I think 2 days after I turned 18, I went and got it. And then in 2016 for Father's Day, I added to it. Well, there's a little chicka chicka bow wow right now. Ladies, look away. I know how you freaks get. But yeah, we got Nicholas and Sophia with this. Originally, it was just a Superman logo, and then I added the border because my arms are much more masculine from when I was 18. And then Nicholas with his birthday, and Sophia with her birthday. So why even put the shirt back on? I got to change for work. Welcome to the gun show, Carly. I'm sorry. Hell yeah, Chris. You know, you make comments like this, ladies and gentlemen, it gets on stage immediately. Dixon, I learned I clicked into the show late and now have to go back now and start it from the beginning. Well, you do that, and we will be in the DP for anyone who's a member of the channel and a shiner. We'll be in the Discord hanging out today. We'll have some good conversations. We'll talk about the Jets. We'll talk about the weekend. We'll talk about 25's basketball parlays. We'll talk about it all. Carly will bring up holiday cookies, maybe. We get blessed with Carly in the Discord for a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do when this show ends? Have a good day. God bless. Be good to one another. Go Jets. And if I show you the muscles, ladies,
show me your butthole.
This got me.
Gentry covered in football.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click the family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show.